What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, you know the deal. Now let's go ahead and jump into it. Now in this video, I'm just going to give you everything from the interwebs. We'll start over here on Twitter and then we'll jump over to different videos and references. But all of this information is on my Twitter page before I make the video. So make sure if you haven't already, follow me over there. We're making our way. I mean, we'll probably hit 5,900 followers by today. And then as far as YouTube, we are making our way to 67,000 subscribers and 19 million views. So thank you all so much for the ongoing support. Now, in today's video, what we're going to talk about are the exotic drop chances in the Dark Zone for these raid exclusives and legendary exclusive, being the Eagle Bearer, the Ravenous, and the Bighorn. Now, there's a lot of controversy because some people are claiming different drop chances than others. Some are claiming that it's impossible to get it to drop. Some are saying that it's just a gimmick to get people into the Dark Zone, blase blah, you know the deal. I mean, rumor mill after rumor mill after speculation. But what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to squash all of that and I'm going to give you the facts. I'm going to show you references. I'm going to give you evidence. I'm going to show you what the developers have said publicly and have posted publicly to support this. Now, the drop chances are 0.024, okay? Now, I know I might be, jumping the gun here, but let me go ahead and show you. It's going to be this number right here, 0.024 in the Dark Zone. Now, a lot of people are confused by that because they look at this exotic drop rate chart and they say, yeah, but the Dark Zone's 0.072. It's 3 times higher than that. And you're right, but the developers have already stated in the special report that it is purposely a lower chance than the other exotics in the Dark Zone, and it's to match this number right here, which coincidentally is the exact same number that you could get one to drop in the raid. And if you're looking for the Bighorn, well, your chances are better in a legendary stronghold to get the Bighorn as well. But we'll talk about this and more. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to allow the developers to speak for themselves. I'm going to show you 3 different clips, okay? I'm going to show you Yannick when he was first asked back in year 4 about this, and he denied rumors about it, and he said that they had no plans. And then we're going to fast forward to the special report with Morten Ryberg. Here he is right here. This is the product director for Massive at Ubisoft. And we're going to see the differences where one is denying it and stating why they wouldn't do it, and then the other one is explaining why not only are they doing it, but the purpose behind it. And then I think at the very end of this video, they're going to answer a few questions about the Discovery raid, about other exotics in the raid, and about releasing PvP exclusive sets into PvE. So with all that said and done, let's go ahead and jump over to the footage that I put together for you, and then we'll come back for our conclusion. But again, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, support the channel by subscribing, and let's get on with this. Let's roll that footage.
And all loot exotics do general bull, not locked behind raid. Actually, that's what the new reward track is for this season, because you can get the exotic as a part of the season 9.
The exotics of that season.
Yeah.
But the raid exotics are still raid exclusives. We are making with tier 15, we are adding the chest piece and the backpacks from the gear sets of the raids. We are adding those into the general loot pool. So the gear sets are no longer raid exclusive. The exotics though are still raid exclusives, and for the moment we don't plan to change that. I feel like the gear set is already a good step. We don't want to take away all the exclusives from the raid, otherwise, some people like to play the raids just for the fun of the experience, but others like to play it and be rewarded for it. And if we take away that exclusivity, then suddenly what is there to gain to play the raid?
Yeah.
It in a lot of discussions among the community. It's adding the few exotics that are otherwise exclusive to a specific content, namely raids, and now we are adding them to the Dark Zone. And you can see those exotics on the screen right now. It's Ravenous, Bighorn, and Eaglebearer. And what is important to mention here that this change is not an attempt to kill raids or affect raids in any way. It's just an opportunity for players who either have problems with fighting a raid group or do not have enough time to beat the raid, because we all know how complicated that game mode is. It's just an opportunity to receive those exotics in the Dark Zone.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. I think
Absolutely.
so. The desire from our side is that it's still a lot easier to obtain these items if you find a group and play with them and go through the raid or a legendary mission, than to try and have them dropping inside the Dark Zone and extracting them. So the drop chances are lower than other exotics in the Dark Zone. And that's just like half the job, because then you of course also need to get them out, as they do drop as contaminated loot.
They do. And actually I have the note here that the exotic drop chance is similar to the one on Heroic in the open world, in the live world. So it's not really a high percentage.
No. But it's there. It's going to add some fun, hopefully. Some more upbeat discussions. There are open mics. It's always fun to listen to that, and we can discuss if it's toxicity or just playing on each other's nerves. I guess it's the latter.
But I'm 100% sure that it won't take anything from the Raiders community, and we know and appreciate their efforts in helping each other, helping players within the community find the groups and actually beat the raids. And I'm sure that this specific, situation where you not only come together to beat the raid, but find, good people within the community, new friends, new teammates. That's not something that Dark Zone can compensate for, definitely not.
Maybe we should also just mention that the Dark Zone will no longer have non-contaminated loot dropping. The targeted loot will now again be contaminated and needs to be extracted.
Starting with
Season 11.
Season 11, so starting tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Back.
What do we have? A question about raids. Why don't we consider adding exotics to the discovery difficulty of raids?
I don't know. It's probably just not been on the table. We're constantly looking at what type of activities should have their rewards updated. So I can't really comment on this one because I've not been part of the raid discussion. But yeah, it's a good question. If there should be anything added to that. So we'll see what happens in future seasons.
I mean, we just added it to the Dark Zone and people started complaining immediately.
That's
so
correct.
what's going to happen if we add that on discoverability?
Yeah,
discovery difficulty. Since the raid exclusive exotics are now available to PvP players in the Dark Zone, will you make the Dark Zone exclusive gear sets available on the PvE side? It's actually something that we haven't really...
We have been discussing, where we could use that gear, but it's not. There are no plans currently for that.
I'm not sure if we want to address any questions about Descent or about.
One more thing before we jump over to the Trello board and talk about, all of that stuff. This is what Morten Ryberg said just a few days ago on Twitter. I have seen people asking if targeted loot in the DZ includes exotics. Yes, it does. And that is from the product director at Massive Ubisoft. Yes, targeted loot helps your Dark Zone exotic chances. It includes the exotics in the targeted loot. So therefore, whenever I see that it's in the targeted loot and I say farm this today, it's because it will help you in the long run. You can sit there and farm it all day with LMGs targeted loot or, backpacks targeted loot, whatever it is. But when it's assault rifle and rifle, those are going to be the times for that Eagle Bearer, that Ravenous, or the Bighorn. But all right, let's jump to the next thing. Jumping over to the patch notes, this is what was said in the patch notes for Title Update 17 and Season 11. It says that the exotics that are otherwise exclusive to a specific source are available as random contaminated drops in the DZ. And what you just heard from Morten Ryberg on that special report about this update is that contaminated drops are both normal and targeted loot drops. And he said that that starts with Season 11. Not only that, but we'll jump over to his tweet where he said that the targeted loot will help your, chances of getting these exotics. So we're learning that, learning that this is all information that's been said, for weeks now and even, nearly a month, is that the chances of you getting these different exotics does increase with those targeted loot. Like whenever we had assault rifles in the west and rifles in the east, that does help your chances for an exotic targeted loot drop, because that targeted loot will then pull from the pool of whatever other exotics are in that general loot for that specific type. Now, if it's a normal contaminated drop, then it's a general loot exotic drop. So there are two different exotic drops that are both contaminated in the Dark Zone now, starting in Season 11, because they changed it back to the quote unquote old Dark Zone, where both normal and targeted loot are dropped as contaminated. Now, that does mean you have to extract it. So that's why they're saying, it's a high risk, high reward, because you can go in there and get it without having to do the raid or legendary content. However, you still have to extract. All right, let's jump to the next thing. So here we are in the known issues board for the Division 2. We are on their Trello board that is updated. The last time this was updated was actually just a couple hours ago. You can see right here, 5 hours ago, this was updated about the control points with the current manhunt. Anyways, we're talking about exotics, right? Exotic chances. So in those special report little clips that I, edited for you and, put together, is the devs are saying how the drop chances for these exotics are the same as heroic open world. Okay? Now, there are two different graphs in the Fix Live category for the known issues board. Now, the first graph, this one is for exotic components. Okay? So this one does not apply to those, raid exclusive exotics that are coming over, or the Bighorn. All right. Now, this is just exotic components. And this is why a lot of people are going to the Dark Zone, because it is by far the highest out of anything in the game. All right. And that includes, right here is a heroic control point, 10%. Now, what the devs were saying is that same as open world heroic. Open world heroic. All right, so right here. Again, this is under the fixed live category, and you can see this one says exotic drop rate. Click on this, and this is in the game. It's been in the game since title update 16. Okay, this has been in the game since title update 16. Now click on this. Now, she said open world heroic. Open world heroic. Boom. So we have a 0.024 chance of getting the Eagle Bearer, the Ravenous, or the Bighorn in the Dark Zone. Now, what was said in that special report is that it is a lower chance than the other exotics in the Dark Zone. Look at this. Boom. 0.072. All right. So that's in the Dark Zone. And that means that you roughly have a third, less than a third of a chance of what is that? That's 60. That's hold on. Yeah, 72, right? That's a third. Yeah. So you have a third of a chance of getting the Eagle Bearer, the Ravenous, or the Bighorn over, say, the Pestilence, BTSU gloves, Vial Mask, Waveform holster, Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads, tardigrade chest piece, Acosta Go bag, chameleon. I mean, the list goes on, right? So, what the devs are saying is that this is your number for the Eagle Bearer, the Ravenous, and the Bighorn, and this is your number for everything else. So, for all of you that are saying, it's impossible, this is a myth, it's never going to drop, I've been in there for 15 days, I'm naked and afraid, I don't know what I'm doing, and I just can't get these to drop. And it's like, well, your chances are so low that it's like winning the Division 2 lottery. I mean, at this point, right? Because think about it. Raids, see raids right here? Raids are the same. However, this is just getting them to drop. That's not from the chest. The chest is a 10% chance. All right? The chest is where you get it. I mean, let's be real. Getting it from a boss to drop in the raid is just as rare as getting it in the Dark Zone. And that's what people need to understand. I'm not the number one raider in the world, but let's be real with each other. The raids have been out for a couple years, right? I mean, I've done several guides and builds and blah, 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 whatever, right? Out of all of those videos and content I've ever covered in the raids, I have only gotten one exotic to drop from one of those raid bosses ever. And that's just me personally. Now, I haven't done thousands and thousands of raids. I've only done a couple hundred, you know? But even still, I've only had one. I believe it was the Ravenous dropped on the second boss in Iron Horse. And I couldn't believe it. I got it without completing it. And it was funny because I had already gotten the exotic prior, but I hit that chance, that 0.024 chance. Now that's going to be the same, lottery chance as the Dark Zone. And that's what all of this is about. is that it is possible. We are seeing more people, posting their screenshots and other people posting their clips of them cutting the rope and someone has like a Ravenous or something. So it's going to happen more as time goes on, but it's all RNG. It's all rare. You have a very low chance. You're better off, going to the raids and opening up the chest at the end, to be honest. And I think that's why the community is kind of upset, because there's all of these people that, don't have time to do the raids, don't have friends to do the raids, don't have resources to do the raids, don't have whatever the excuses, whatever the case may be. However, maybe they can jump into the dark zone for like 10, 20 minutes, right? And they're doing that to hopefully get one of these exotics to drop. But then they do that for like, say, a week straight, and they're just like, it's just not going to drop. I do this for a few hours every day. It's just not going to drop. It's not going to drop. It's impossible. It's a myth. Nope. Urban legend. Nope. Don't. Nope. Nope. And it's like, well, dude, like, your chance is really, really low. Like, your chances of getting a pestilence are 3 times higher. I mean, that's pretty huge. So just keep grinding. The grind's going to be real. I hope that they fix this or adjust it in the future, but I really doubt it, people. I really doubt it. I mean, it's the exact same as the raid, exotic drop chance. I mean, it's just it's going to be what it is. Now, not only that, but the crazy part is you see right here, the Bighorn has a higher drop chance than you would in the dark zone, right? So even just doing the legendaries, the legendary strongholds will give you a better chance of one dropping than in the dark zone. So the odds are against you, but like the president says in the Hunger Games trilogy, he says, "May the odds be ever in your favor." And with that, people, I'm going to get out of here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about all of these changes, and let me know how you would change it. Do you think this is a good percentage for a drop chance? Do you think this is fair? Do you think this is just a way of getting people to go to the dark zone? I don't know. Let me know what you think. And while you're at it, hit that like, subscribe. You know the whole deal. I'm Kamikazevondoom. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Peace out.